Welcome to the Natural Way of Being video blog. This video is titled, Confusion is a Natural Part of Change. So 2020 has been a confusing year for many of us. But not all confusion is bad. Sometimes confusion can indicate that we're going through change. In fact, confusion is a natural part of going through change. So when we're in one state of being, if you will, we're used to seeing things in a certain way. And when something begins to change inside of us, the way we see things begins to change. So now we have this way of seeing things that our life is kind of oriented around and we're used to, if not addicted to. And then this new kind of level of consciousness or this new way of seeing things kind of comes in and we start seeing things differently. And the result is confusion because there's the way we're used to seeing things and then there's the way we are seeing things. It's almost like we have one foot in one reality and the other foot in a new reality. So some of the experiences we have don't make sense anymore. We're kind of disoriented. It's like we used to think this, but now that doesn't really make sense anymore. So when you experience confusion, it's an opportunity to see how the way you see things is changing and consequently how you are changing. So the next time you're confused, ask yourself, what am I confused about? Is it indicating that the way I'm seeing things has changed? So when you view confusion in this way, it's less confusing and less disoriented. So it's like, don't get confused about confusion. But the true resolution to confusion is completing the change or transition that you're going through. So when you think about it, you've got your old way of seeing things and your new way of seeing things. When you completely change into your new way of seeing things, or your new way of being, you could say, there's no longer any confusion. You're now clear and you now see things totally from your new way. Hence, your confusion is resolved. So what I'm suggesting is confusion and clarity are actually cyclical. As we go through the change process, the cycles of life, or the medicine wheel, the wheel of life, we actually go through phases of life that are confusing, and then we move into a phase of life that's clear, and then we move into another phase of life that's confusing. And this is a natural part of the change process and a natural part of life. Obviously, it's more comfortable to be in a clear phase, but sometimes the confusing phases of life are so important. And if we embrace them, it really allows us to complete our change and grow. Now, granted, not all confusion is this change-oriented, natural type of confusion. We can confuse ourselves by overthinking things, or we can do things that create conflict within ourselves, which can confuse us. Or sometimes we get stuck in natural change and don't move through it. But looking at confusion, can actually help us move through these things as well. So don't let confusion scare you. Rather, just notice it. You might say to yourself something like, I'm kind of confused about friendships these days. Perhaps the things I value in friendship might be going through some change. So I wonder what your confusion might be saying to you about the changes you're naturally going through. So anyway, thank you for listening to this video blog. I wish you a good week, whether it's confusing or clear or both. I hope you enjoy it. See you in a week.